Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Cone, and the Clippers are an embarrassment of a franchise. I don't want to make a fourth video about them so far this season, but something just happened that requires me to do so. The Clippers are in the midst of a disastrous season. They're 5-16, one of the worst teams in the NBA. They can't beat anybody. They were supposed to be really good. Instead, they might give the Oklahoma City Thunder, the now 21-1 Oklahoma City Thunder, the #1 overall pick in a loaded draft class. Adding on to already giving them Shea and Jalen Williams from what is now the most lopsided trade by far in NBA history. Nothing is going right. Not to mention the aspiration stuff before the season. There is nothing going right for the Clippers. The only positive thing that they've had going so far is Chris Paul came back this summer. He could have gone a number of places, I'm sure, but he decided it is my last season. This is my retirement tour. I'm going to go back to Los Angeles where, not all started, but where he became one of the best players to ever lace it up. He's the best player to ever wear the Clippers uniform, and that number 3 is supposed to be hanging in the rafters. They have no retired jerseys right now, the Clippers. The second he steps off the hardwood for good, that number 3 is going to raise up to the rafters of Intuit Dome. As a top 5 point guard of all time, this is where Chris Paul decided, hey, I'm going to do my retirement tour. They've been giving him retirement videos and tributes and all this stuff, and now they cut him. He's cut. At 3 a.m. Wednesday, December 3rd, the Clippers cut Chris Paul out of absolutely nowhere. There was a game that they have to play technically today now, but I guess tomorrow on the West Coast or whatever when they cut him. It's mind-blowing. In the midst of this disastrous season where nothing is going your way, you are the laughing stock of the NBA right now. You decide that the best course of action is to cut the best player in your franchise history mid-retirement tour? Are you kidding me? How do you possibly decide that that's the way you're going to go? That that's the decision? Can you not read the room? I mean, I guess from the Luka trade we've learned sometimes people just can't, but this is a horrific look. I'm seeing multiple Clippers reporters talk about how they just can't wrap their heads around this. Like there has to be more to this story, but we're getting stuff like Clippers made a statement and it doesn't seem like it. They just decided, yeah, let's go ahead and just cut this thing short. And we're done with this. The best player in our franchise history, retirement tour, he chose us. Not really feeling it. Like how are you possibly doing that? And this isn't the first time the Clippers have just straight up disrespected one of the best players in franchise history. The other best player in franchise history, Blake Griffin. Blake, he was a free agent. It felt like the Clippers, were kind of going a different direction. Chris Paul was gone. He could have gone anywhere else. But the Clippers pitched him, they had this mock jersey retirement, all this stuff, this huge, elaborate pitch. If you didn't know, I'll try to flash up some screenshots from the story or whatever, but they did a ton to try and convince Blake Griffin, we want you to be the guy and stay here going forward as the face of the Clippers. And Blake Griffin said, you know what? Yeah, I will stay. Sure, like the team is, kind of in a period of flux, but I want to be here. I want to be a Clipper for life. This is where I'm going to stay. Not even 3 seconds later, shipped him off to Detroit. No notice. He's just gone. They're like, hey, bro, remember all that stuff we said about you being a Clipper forever? Yeah, you're a Detroit Piston, actually. Bye. See you later. Bye. And credit to Blake, he went crazy. He had the best season of his career in Detroit. And when he came back to Los Angeles, Steve Ballmer tried to be like, hey, what's good, man? What's good? And he just ignored him, as he should, because that's ridiculous. Like, the NBA is a business, but to do that to one of the best players in your franchise history, not even wait a season. Like, if you sign him and at the end of the year, you're like, hey, listen, we know we gave you this contract, but it's just not working. Is there anywhere you want to go? We also got to think about ourselves here. Like, there are ways to amicably end things. To do it, no questions asked, no notice, is mind-blowing. That's just incompetence, inability to read the room, and just bad look all over. And now it's the same thing with Chris Paul. There's no way any possible player looks at this and goes, yeah, I like what the Clippers did there to one of the best players ever, the best player ever with their uniform. Yeah, the fact that they straight up cut him at 3 a.m. on Wednesday, December 3rd. Yeah, actually, that's kind of sick. Yeah, for sure. Let me sign with you in free agency. What are we like? How could you possibly think this was a good thing to do? Like, I understand that he's not playing good basketball. He's averaging like 3 points per game, 3 assists on poor efficiency in like 18 minutes a night. He's not been very good. I understand that. I'm a huge Chris Paul guy, and even I can admit that, yeah, it's been a bad season so far. He's not been super beneficial, but he's nowhere near the problem with the Clippers right now. And even if he's just sitting on the bench and, you're going through this retirement tour thing, at least there's something positive with this season. You could give the Thunder potentially the first overall pick in last game of the year. Chris Paul's out there in the Intuit Dome. It's his final game. You're packing out the stands. You're having this big ceremony. You go ahead and start him or whatever, even just play him a lot of minutes. And he goes out there and has a vintage game. He rides off into the sunset. Like, sure, I mean, you're going to suck regardless of if Chris Paul is here or not. He is not the difference maker one way or the other, but at least there's something to look forward to. There is some positive through line with this nightmare Clipper season. That is now gone. That whole thing is tarnished. There is nothing going on now, nothing going well, nothing positive for this Clippers team anymore. that was like at least a little smidgen, a little silver lining, like, you know, something. It's not there anymore. Like the fact that he has to put out an Instagram story and be like, hey, just found out I'm being sent home with a peace emoji. You're doing that to your franchise GOAT, the first guy that's supposed to be having his jersey in the rafters. Like I wouldn't be shocked if now it takes a few years to mend this relationship and he's like, maybe I don't want it for the first few years because you just ditched me in the middle of my retirement tour. Like that's absurd. It was such a slam dunk home run to go through this thing. How did they mess even this up? I guess, again, with the Blake Griffin stuff, I should have seen it coming, but oh my God. And now I just can't help but think about, you know, where could Chris Paul go next? And I just hope it's somewhere soon. That he just gets to, you know, be on a team and gets to enjoy the retirement tour, his final season, the way that he should, as one of the best to ever play the game. As a Thunder fan, I would love to see him back in Oklahoma City. We don't have a roster spot right now, you know, disabled player exception, maybe with like Nikola Topic and Thomas Sorber. Like maybe there's a way the Thunder could finagle it to get Chris Paul, but right now there's no clear roster spots. Maybe a move is made and around the deadline he comes back in. But even if Chris Paul doesn't play, just having him here with the Thunder, I would love that. He's one of my favorite players ever. Obviously, was a big mentor for Shea, you know, a big part in Shea becoming the player that he is now. It would be super cool to see Shea and Chris Paul go ahead and finish what they started, and for Chris Paul to ride off into the sunset, getting a ring here in Oklahoma City. You know, he was one of the reasons why Oklahoma City basketball became what it is now, because he and the Hornets, you know, came in after Hurricane Katrina, and they're playing in the red uniforms, and it's like, hey, Oklahoma City can kind of support a basketball team, and now the Thunder are here. Like Chris Paul, multiple ways because of that, and then the 2020 season is an Oklahoma City legend. He's a Thunder legend through and through. So for him to come back in the end would be awesome. Is it going to happen? I don't know. I don't really think so. I think it would be surprising. Again, I would love it, but I do think it would be surprising. But I just hope he ends up somewhere where he can play. And even if he doesn't play, if he's not that good, at least just be on a team, because he deserves so much better than this, especially from the franchise that, again, he chose to do his retirement tour with. The fans were chanting CP3 at his reintroduction press conference, and he's wearing the new jersey. Fans are chanting CP3 over and over again. He's tearing up. He's crying because he's emotional that he's back here now, where really his greatness kind of went to a new level. And now he's just sent home. The top 5 point guard ever, one of the best players ever. We don't need him. Whatever. Yeah, who cares? It's ridiculous. It's unbelievable. It's one of the most shocking things that could have possibly happened tonight. I was in the middle of recording a different video. You might get 2 videos today. I don't really know, because I was going to drop one about Shea being the best player in the world. And yeah, that's a thing, by the way. Shea's the best player in basketball. Just had an insane game against the Warriors. Like I really got in my bag rambling about that. So maybe I'll still use that video. I don't really know, because this one I do think also has to go up, because I have to talk about this and the absurdity of it all. There's like some little fuzzy thing on my eyebrow now. Thank God it's gone. That was distracting me. Like I just can't believe that this happened. I can't believe it. I'm refreshing real quick, trying to see if there's anything else about the situation like that's coming up. But I'm seeing a lot of Clippers fans be like, what are we doing? How could we possibly have done this? I've seen a couple of Clippers fans going, you know, boycotting and this and that. I don't know if they actually will. I mean, there's a lot of reasons they should boycott, like with the way they're playing and things like that. But it's just ridiculous. How is this what it came to? 4 months ago, fans were chanting CP3 and he's crying. He's getting emotional. I don't know, man. There's nothing that really I think is going to come out about this story. I just think the Clippers just are an embarrassment of a franchise. I don't know if it was Steve Ballmer, Lawrence Frank, or like who decided to make this decision, but it's mind blowing. It's boggling. And even if they take all the backlash, you're like, oh, actually, Chris Paul, never mind. Chris Paul should say, screw that. Let me go somewhere else now, because I'm done with you. And it might take some time to mend this relationship, which is so insane to me. But yeah, I think those are my thoughts overall on this happening. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Let me know what your thoughts are on this situation. Can you believe it? Are you shocked and stunned the way that I am? Like, what do you think about the Clippers in the grand scheme of this? Like, it's a business. Players leave in free agency. Guys get traded. You know, it's like, oh, there's no real loyalty in the NBA. But this felt like one of the situations where, there should be. He chose this team. It's not like Chris Paul has been here for like, his whole career. I guess that might be even a little more insane to cut him in his retirement tour if he's been here his whole career. But it's not like Chris Paul is just a throw in a trade and then they decide to cut him. He chose to sign here in free agency. They made it a whole huge thing. Like literally 5 days ago, they did a huge retirement thing, video tribute thing from on the Jumbotron at Intuit Dome. And here we are. NBA, greatest soap opera in the world. We love it. But yeah, appreciate watching. I'll see you all later. Raylan, say it back.